This first one, and these are from the arts community. Lisa and the Citizens for the Arts asked for your input, so these come from you, and I'll identify. This is from Eric Bright, who's a resident of Monhasset Mill in the Valley District. He's an artist space developer. With the current budget crisis, uproar of the elimination of the investment homestead exemption and the recent tax levy imposed, would you as mayor continue to use the tax stabilization treaty as a development tool in the city? And if so, when would you seek the enabling legislation at the state level to renew the program? And would you seek to extend the stabilization for artist development projects like Millhouse and Firehouse 13 that have not received the benefit of the 10-year stabilization because of the sunset clause? And if not, would you consider using the tax stabilization treaty for projects? See, you know.
This is the lightning round?
Yeah, well, like I said. I didn't have time to edit this one. Would you consider using the tax stabilization treaty for projects that create truly affordable, code-compliant studio spaces and live-work units for artists in the creative sector? I'll tell you what, let's boil it down to this tax stabilization treaty. Number one, would you renew? Would you work to get it renewed? Number two, would you work to allow projects that were started midstream to get the full 10 years out of it? So let's start with Stephen.
Tax stabilization, I think you need to look at it, but you look at it with performance standards and a clawback provision if those performance standards are not adhered to.
What's a performance standard?
A performance standard is in any tax treaty or any tax incentive that you give the incentive based on a performance. 200 jobs, an amount of sales tax collected, an amount of income tax gained, all right, because the city is giving something up. It's giving some tax revenue up. In return, you ask for a performance. If and we've done this recently with new programs, if you do not meet that, the city or the government entity, what they call clawback, can go back and revert to what the tax structure should have been at the time. So it's a contract between the entity and the government.
So you're looking for accountability?
Accountability with tax treaties.
Okay. Angel?
I think it's important to have the ability to use a tax stabilization. I think accountability that you just touched on, Mark, is vitally important. It's part of what I think angers a lot of people now, that there doesn't seem to be accountability for the stabilization programs or the tax stabilizations that we've had with different developers. And I think that's vital. And allowing projects to fulfill it, the ones that are midstream, I think is important as well. But I want to just point out one last thing, and that is that part of our goal in terms of reforming the tax, zoning, and permitting and licensing is recognizing the West Side Arts District and the fact that what happened there because of a smart use of the law and how it attracted artists into the Valley, Oneyville, and West Broadway neighborhoods. So we should really take advantage to attract creative people to our city. It's important not only for them, but it's important for us and for the city as a whole, as we talked about the economic development related to that.
So I just want to make sure you're in favor of getting the tax stabilization treaty re-enabled.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. All right. That was a big answer, a complicated answer. Okay.
Tavares, he says he cares about these issues, but I knew an artist in Camp Runamuck because he couldn't afford
Chris,
one.
this is a question to you, not to Angel. He already had his chance. So I just want to
Tavares would represent Camp Runamuck when they were this homeless camp of artists and other people, and he refused to help me in that situation. So he doesn't really care about the artists. All these people are saying that they care about these issues and they're going to help and they're going to do whatever. But Costantino passed on the excise tax onto the cities and towns. That raised the property taxes. So that raised the rents. That reduced the amount of affordable housing. Now you have people now you have artists who have nowhere to go. These deals that were struck before, these tax deals for developing artist lofts and all this other stuff. None of the artists that I know can afford these lofts. They're way too overpriced, And these guys got these deals. And these guys oversaw these deals. These people, all of these guys have either worked for the city or state before. I haven't. I care about the artists. I'm an artist, If you want that, if you want someone who cares about you guys know the truth. You can't afford those units. They're way overpriced. You know, and these guys got away with it. They got away with stealing from the poorest and most, the greatest people in our society. It's Pablo Picasso said, art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life. And the dust that these people create, obviously, is dirt and mud and sludge. And it's going to be hard to wash this away unless you guys have the eyes and the enough water and soap to wash the stuff that these guys are saying away.
A lot of these guys have covered the details on that. I will say that, yes, I would renew them, and I certainly would extend them to groups like Firehouse 13. I will tell you that one of the reasons for doing that, if we go back to creative economy development theory and Richard Florida, I'm not sure how many people are familiar with him, but some people see him in a positive light, some people don't, but one of the truisms of what he says, and that's kind of where our creative community, creative economy marketing came out of, is that you need to create good opportunities for creative folks to flow into your community and give them the opportunities to do that. Tax stabilization is part of that. I will also say in this question, because it came up in a very long question there, that the next mayor should absolutely positively go in, flex some muscle, and reinstitute the homestead exemption for non-owner occupied. It's going to lead to a huge disaster in the city if we do not do that, and I would call on everybody on this table to follow my lead on that and do so.
Tax stabilization, obviously, it's a good thing. As long as the individual or corporation that's granted the tax stabilization is compliant. That's been a sore point in my constituency and also with regard to my council. We need to assign an attorney that's going to ensure that the institution or corporation that receives the tax stabilization is compliant. In many instances, they're not. The concern is that the value of the property in some instances has exceeded some expectation, and that actually becomes counterintuitive to the others. We need affordable housing, and these tax stabilizations, whereas they're good, someone needs to monitor them at all times. Thank you.